All right, artificial intelligence versus authentic intelligence, and I'm going to say this: this is the proviso. When it comes to real estate, I'm like an ocean of information, right? When it comes to AI, I'm a pipeline. Okay. I'm just passing it from what I'm finding to you guys, and then also just pointing out a few things that we can use because when I go and look for how is AI being used in um, real estate, what I get a lot of is the way it's being used in real estate, and then they give you all these national and international groups that are using AI. Like, well, that doesn't do anything for me, feet on the ground. So a couple of things that you might want to take out and play around with is one is if you got the NAR RPR app on your phone, they have instituted a AI component. Um, and that's go to the front of this. It's going to look like my work and more. Well, the icon kind of looks like, well, I can't get the icon to come up, but you'll go to something like this and then you'll be able to tap it. And when you tap it, the house that you're looking for, um, it will bring up the house you're looking for. Okay. And then you can say on that house, you tap it again, and then this little icon shows up right here. Boom, right there, the AI icon. And tap that, and you say, I want to sell or CMA. It starts doing it for you. Now, I've seen some agents try to take Chat GPT and do valuations on Chat GPT. The problem you have with that is that all the data that Chat GPT is getting, unless you're paying for it, is going to be providing old data to come up with your price. This is included in your NAR dues, and that AI that the spider that are going out is going into Bright MLS. So now this is not to take away from your tool and your work of creating a price for people, okay? But it can be used to help you with determining value and seeing what at least the AI components in our industry are saying it might be worth. Obviously, you want to say, hey, look, this is a subscription that I have to that I have. It's got a generic view of your property and value, but I can't really tell till I get there what we got to add on, take out, that kind of stuff.
You were saying if we do have the paid version of ChatGPT, then it will get more or more current information.
That is what I've heard, but I do not know where it's coming from. So it could be going to someone's site and pulling it down, and then you're at the mercy of that person's site. Again, just yesterday, it was wrong. I went and searched something, and the answer it gave me, I'm like, well, that's not right because Mr. Old Broker here knows the code. Like, well, that's incorrect. Again, so and it wasn't having a hallucination. It was just picking up information from the wrong part. So the whole thing about AI is that, yeah, it's there. It can be helpful. But, how are we using it? And what do we need to do to make sure that what we're using is beneficial to us in our business? So I want to go through this thing called SEO. What is SEO when it comes to website?
Search engine optimization.
Search engine optimization. Does anyone know what what are you trying to do as a website owner with search engine optimization?
Improve juice on search engines so you show up higher.
You're trying to improve your presence on search engines, whether it's Google, Yahoo, DuckDuckGo, which is what I use because it doesn't track your searches. And so, and Bling or Bling. Yeah.
Bing.
Bing. Thank you. Not doing so well on that, on their branding, are they, for me to get that wrong? And so search engine optimization is trying to bring in your website to the top. That's what it's trying to do. And that's what we've been taught all these years. And even with what we've been looking at when you use ChatGPT, you may put something in there and say, hey, give me some headlines that have a good SEO. And I'm going to submit to you, we need to quit asking that prompt. Has anyone used that prompt before with chat? Give me some good. All right. So what I do with my videos, maybe we get some time toward the end here. I'll go through the process of what I do with my videos to come up with what's on my YouTube channel. My description is my transcribe from my video put into chat. And then I tell chat, rewrite this for clarity and give me some good keywords and highlight it for SEO. Give me some headline names, etc. And it gives me all that. But now the next version that we're looking at is AEO. Does anyone know what AEO is? It is answer engine optimization. And so when you're looking at how things are showing up on the internet now, Gemini, ChatGPT, DuckDuckAssist, and all that kind of stuff is all about giving the answer. And am I too loud? Oh, yes, I do.
Sorry,
Hold on
guys.
just a moment.
How's your Friday going, everybody?
There you go. There's the lightning.
Steve's landing a plane.
What do you
Scott-
have?
I
Oh,
know.
I don't know. So
I'll figure
get that inside there, okay?
Good to see you guys.
Bye. Good deal. I thought I seen the wrong thing. Oh no. And so the AEO is looking for the answer. And so that's where we want to start looking at when I'm putting a video up, when I'm putting an editorial up, and do I have good AEO? No longer are we looking just for keywords and hashtags. And some people would say hashtags are dying, but I'll do a hashtag search. I'll do a hashtag Nova real estate market. So I still use that, but I could see where that's going to get old and people aren't going to really want to use that anymore. Any comments on that kind of stuff so far? Like I said, I'm a pipeline. I'm not a ocean of information on this.
I'm glad hashtags are dying. It's just a waste of space.
It's interesting, to hear my my young kids. I remember and my son, he's millennial and he teaches Gen Z and he did a hashtag something on it. And actually he wrote, go down to the road, go down this hallway, turn left and go to this room right here. And he put room number 113 or something. And they said, Mr. Carr, what's hashtag 113? He's like, oh my gosh. I said, well, that's number 113. That's the room number you're going to. And what's the old name for that hashtag? What do we call it? It's the blank sign, the
pound sign.
pound sign. Thank you. Who said that?
Barbara.
Barbara, we are people of a certain age.
I hear you.
And the pound sign was on the keyboard of an old phone. Anyway. Then you have the GEO, which is generative engine optimization. So we're going to go through these real quick and talk about. So this is the difference between search engine versus answer engine optimization. Think of SEO as rank high in search results, which is kind of the old, I hate to say it, but it's kind of our traditional or old way of searching for stuff. And then, I mean, if you think about it, what Google started doing was Italian restaurants near me, and they combined the search engine on the internet, and then did a merge with and their map system. So I turned on, I got the Italian restaurants near me. I just saw a picture the other day. It was a Thai restaurant. And they named their restaurant Thai Restaurant Near Me. That's what they named it. They saw it. They saw this is where this is going. So you look up Thai restaurant near me, that's where you would get was their website. Still
They better
looking
have some
at,
good Thai food.
they better go to the Thai restaurant near me. Where's that? Down here on 113 and hashtag 113 Main Street. But the target platforms were Google, Bing, DuckDuckGo. You wanted your listing to go up. The success metric was, okay, it got on the front page, the second page, but then did they click on it? Okay, that's the success rate. And then content, long form, comprehensive guides, technical focus was keywords, backlinks, page speed. You get rewarded for having people linking to your page on the back side. That's something you can't see. But the way that the algorithms picked up were, oh, Anthony is a person that people link to. That's backlinks. Or Scott or Steve or Mark. Their website is one that gets linked to from other sites. And that would increase its presence. On the AEO, on the right side, be the chosen answer for an AI or voice query. It's ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity. Does anyone use any of the other ones besides ChatGPT? Alexa is a answer engine optimization tool. Siri, those like right in your house with a microphone on it. I use Gemini, ChatGPT, and Grok. And I'm starting to use Perplexity a bit because I'll compare them against each other, see which ones got more accurate information. The success on that one is really what we're looking for our perspective. Am I being cited as a professional? Is my brand being mentioned as the source? And I saw this has changed in just the last few months where you used to get an answer, but no citations. And I had one when I was early on with DuckDuckGo is I would say, well, name me the sources for this answer. I don't have that. And they came back, I don't have that information at this time. I was like, what's that all about? You just went out and got it, but you don't know where you got it. And that's when I started using Chat and Gemini more because they cited their information. And now DuckDuckGo is citing their information. So you'll get the answer with the little icon. What you want to be is you want to win the icon. That's what you want to win, right? It's concise Q&A, your optimization that you're looking for. If you still want to do hashtags, what you want to do with hashtags is take what you're saying and make a hashtag out of it. Not hashtag Nova real estate, but hashtag voiding a contract. Hashtag, broken water heater, that kind of thing. And it's structured, it's schema, clear entities, frequently asked questions. So SEO is more the library approach is what I'm trying to put out there. It's designed for browsing, which we know is starting to kind of be replaced by ChatGPT and company. And who thought that this is what it would take to take Google off of its throne? I mean, this is a game changer for this whole realm. And then AEO is more like the butler approach. Bring me my soda and tonic. Bring it out to me now. Because I'm like that. I want a question. I want the answer. I don't want 10 websites that now I have to go see why Google thought it was worthy of being on the front page and then find out your algorithm's wrong. These have nothing to do with the question that I put out there. Anybody have that experience come to them? You do a Google search and it's not giving you what you want. You can see there's gonna be a one-way discussion here today. So the strategy on the butler is you place a direct 40 to 60 word answer at the top of your page. Use frequently asked questions, markup, focus on being the definitive fact rather than just a long article. So I'm going to have to learn how to use my Q&A this way. So that's kind of where I'm going to be going. Then the GEO. And this is about becoming the expert, answers the question, and it ensures your brand shows up. So let me give you an example. of what this looked like. Okay. There we go. Give me a second. I'm putting something on the screen here. All right. Can y'all see overall 2026 outlook?
Yes.
All right. So my
Yes.
question was, how is the real estate market in Northern Virginia in 2026? That's my prompt. Overall, look, these little guys right here, these little icons are what you're looking to eventually be. And this is coming from NVAR and PR Newswire. So good for NVAR. All right. The realtors are still the brand on the top. Now, I'll tell you this. Remember the last week I did the infographics. Remember those that I created last week? Anybody that was here? And then I posted on Facebook. And what I used,
Yeah, I was there.
yeah, Malik, and I used the NVAR information that they had released about the forecast of Fairfax, Arlington, Prince William County. I used that to create an infographic. And I used the free version of ChatGPT and it did a phenomenal job. And then I used those in my email that I sent out to you guys. I think some of y'all got it, and also to my consumer list. But you see what they have here is all these sightings of NVAR as the source. Okay. And then this one, the bottom one, the combination points toward a less frenzied, more balanced market. The answer from Northern Virginia Magazine. And we keep going down on all these, and it's PR Newswire, NVAR, which tells me ChatGPT picked up a reliable website and started quoting it. What I was looking for, would there be one agent that got cited in that? And yes, there was. The Jamil brothers. They got cited as a reliable source to be in that search on ChatGPT. Boom. They won. As a realtor in Northern Virginia, at least right now, they won. Okay.
So I have a question about that. Do you
Yeah,
think
go ahead.
I'm thinking if they got their information from ChatGPT and then put it on their site and then it linked back to ChatGPT?
I'm not sure. I mean, this information here, it's anywhere. They could have gotten that from anywhere, honestly. Virginia housing market. Yeah, I don't see that they're pulling that from anywhere specifically. And then you got home price trends across Virginia.
You know, Anthony, one thing
Yeah.
that this is showing, which is consistent with what I've been reading, is
Mhm.
that notice that this is a blog on a website.
Yeah.
That's the most effective way to get any of the large language models to
Yeah.
pull your information. That's what they're pulling from NVAR, Housing Wire.
Right. It's, I think you're right. It still comes back to the written word.
Yep.
These graphics are fine and everything, but it comes back to what they wrote. Virginia real estate market trends 2026, what home sellers should know from January 22nd, statewide housing market update geared towards sellers. Now let's go to their blog and see what they've got. What is Realtor Commission and how ours is different? Selling in 2026. real estate investing in Prince William County, a starter guide. So they may
Hey,
be, so
Anthony.
if they're feeding through on this blog, it's helping them show up as a reliable source of answering your question, not your website, but your question to then rank in chat. Yeah, Steve.
I have to get going,
Yeah.
but I wanted you said like, what are we using ChatGPT for? Can I
Yeah.
share for a few minutes?
Yes,
real
go
quick?
for it. Yeah.
This tool is phenomenal with rewriting systems in your business. But so I pay for the ChatGPT Pro version, and I am it knows me and it knows my personality. It's almost like a human. It really is. But I'm rewriting my buyer SOPs. It prompts you as you're going. It's like, hey, we should work on this next. Do you want to? The thing is, it can get you going down a rabbit trail. Do not ever go broad on something. You have to have an outline of what you're trying to accomplish. And because what will happen is it's always thinking 5 steps ahead of you every single time. And so you have to bring it back and say, okay, wait, we're going to take baby steps on this. And so it's just implementation, small implementation. But once it really gets to know you, and I use it every day, I use this freaking tool every day and love it. Today, I rewrote my LinkedIn profile today. And then just said, hey, let's do a reintroduction because I haven't used LinkedIn in the longest time. And so it walked me through it. But if anybody wants to sit down with me and watch me using it, it's really good. Now, ChatGPT will kind of like inflate your ego and be like, oh, that's really sweet. That's a really nice idea. Tanya Salseth, and I'm going to copy this in for everybody. Tanya Salseth did a training with somebody who's an expert on this. If you go to the very bottom of ChatGPT, where you click your profile and you click on personalization, this is, and I'm going to send it over right now. And you go down to the custom instructions. What has changed everything is this statement. It no longer it no longer makes me feel good. It really challenges me. It says, be a ruthless mentor. If my ideas are illogical or terrible, tell me why. Stress test everything so it's bulletproof. Once I change that around, ChatGPT became so much more valuable.
So I've got it on the screen here. I got personalization.
Go all the way to the bottom, custom instructions. You're above it. You went too far. Sorry.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Just cut and paste what I said. Now,
What'd you
you got to
say?
have thick skin because it will tell you if you're stupid.
Yeah. What did you say?
I typed it into chat. Be a ruthless mentor. If my ideas are illogical or terrible, tell me why. Stress test everything so it's bulletproof. So anyway, it's really good with systemization of your business, but you have to know. So one of the best ways to do it is you choose, like, let's say you're going to work on the home purchase consultation process, like what happens before an appointment, what happens during, and what happens after. You have to have a plan. And then you've got to take your assets and upload them after after they've started the creation, because you don't want to lose who you are and you don't want to lose the way that you do things. This is where AI can be dangerous, because you can start to look like everybody else.
Right.
Because you lose your personality, and all of it has my personality. And I basically told him, like, here are the 3 people that I follow the most. And so when you are when you're putting this stuff together, do it like that and not Tom Ferry or not, like one of these, like, people who is, they're all good people, these gurus that are out there. But I want it to sound like the people that I follow. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with folks.
I mean, I really appreciate that. I didn't even know about that. That's phenomenal. I'm going to spend some time there. And when I talk to my business manager, my wife, I'm gonna might switch some things around and get a paid subscription on that, because
it's
my
one-
pay, I don't have that as a paid subscription.
It's
So what
20
happens if you don't do the paid subscription?
Yeah.
When you're in a chat, you can go like 5 or 6 deep, and then it stops you and says,
Yeah.
"We'll see you in 24 hours."
Right. I've had that
But when
happen.
you pay for it, man, it's huge. And but you're gonna screw up initially with it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
once you start to figure it out, holy cow, it is
Yeah.
changing everything. And I will say this, I truly believe that with my systems and with the stuff that I implemented with ChatGPT together, I got a referral on January the 17th. We met on January the 18th. We were under contract February 2nd. I believe that you all know I'm a process guy. I love processes. I love systems. That's how I build my life. But I added to it through ChatGPT, and I believe that helped me get to a contract even faster. So anyway, that's
Great.
one of the actual truth serums right there. I think it really helped me get to a contract faster.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I think, it's like, I'm kind of maturing in my approach to the AI phenomenon and realizing I need to really use this as a personal assistant that writes a letter for me, and be okay that it's writing a letter for me with what it knows about me. If someone else,
I don't trust it yet with real estate stuff. Like, I don't trust it with, I don't have it help me with real estate valuation. I think
me
that's,
either. No.
yeah, it's only right now I'm using it for systems, and I use it for emails a lot.
I'll go back to what I said earlier. I keep finding too many mistakes on things that could get us sued.
Yeah.
How about that? Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
And I got a new phrase.
Going,
I see you, Steve. Thanks a lot.
Yep.
I got
Thank
a new
you,
phrase
Steve.
I'm using, folks. I no longer, you'll not hear me saying, can I be on, to be honest with you, I'm not going to say that anymore. I'm going to say, can I be blunt? I always want to be honest. Sometimes I'm not as blunt. Or can I be direct with you? And so the stuff about the Chat GPT is like, it's honest, but many times it's old information because it's not being blunt. Anyway, the third pillar here is the GEO, which is the generative engine optimization, which is kind of what we just talked about. So, and I just showed you so the prompt I gave it was, how's the real estate market in Northern Virginia 2026? You saw that. But this is also, several of us had a vendor meeting yesterday. We did pretty good, I think. We had about 25 people that were attendance. I think that included like 4 agents or something like that. But I just put in there and asked it, hey, I'm having a vendor event where I'm bringing all my vendors in to meet each other and meet me. I'm going to have cannolis and coffee. Coffee and cannolis is the theme because the Olympics begin the next day from Italy. Give me something that is, fun and invites them. And here's my address that I need at the bottom of the page. I'm with Keller Williams, and I gave the address. And this is what it created. I gave it the time, the location, the cannolis, the coffee, the winter, the part, and I thought that this didn't take long at all. Only had to do 3 tries on it. And the reason I had to do try number 2 and number 3 is because the first time I got the time wrong. And the second time someone said, why don't you put the address on the bottom? And that's the only reason I had to do it twice. So it did that one. And you all saw what we did last week with the information that we got from NVAR and creating an infographic. But the main thing on this is that we can't be afraid of it. We need to start looking at how can I use this in my business beyond, thanks Scott, ChatGPT Pro is only $20 a month. Is that if you pay up front for a year? You're silenced.
No, it's just, there's no
Monthly
discount
fee.
for,
Got it. Okay.
yeah.
Got it. Okay. And so that's where I think the AI is at right now. It's a resource you can use, but I tell you where my wife and I are really making sure we watch this is when we're getting to websites, websites, articles, and videos, and like that just doesn't seem right. And I would just say on this, trust your gut because it's only going to get better from whatever you're seeing. I was following. I'm following a gal now who is about cloning yourself, and she says now what she's done is she has told people in the front of her YouTube channel, "This is my cloned channel. You're going to see me doing a video cloned. The video is the clone. The content is me. I'm just able to create more with the cloning process." And so she's very upfront why she's doing it, how she's doing it. And I think, okay, and my wife was pointing out, people a lot of times, they just want the information as fast as possible and as direct as possible. And AI helps you do that. So I'm looking at, well, is that something I'm going to try to implement in mine? I mean, the Q&As are great. I love doing Q&As, but that's a lot of 2-minute videos. And maybe I can answer the questions, upload it, and it create the video for me. And I'm not having to stop, sit here, edit, and just, so I may be going that direction with the broker Q&As. But we just have to be careful of how am I using this in my business? And we don't want to lose the human component, but at the same time, we can't be left behind. And all the stuff on the facts and the figures and the average prices, I'm not even going to worry about that. AI is going to run with that because it's math. But the human element, I've got to make sure that I'm out there. They know who I am, and that my people are because I think where AI is going, the ones that will be the ones that win the trust. But as you saw with that ChatGPT search, how's the market in Northern Virginia? There was a broker or a realtor that had his name in there. and I don't even know if he knew he did the right thing. But for some reason, in that blog, ChatGPT pulled them up as a source. I did this earlier, like late last year. Chris Colgan came up, and I think I was searching Prince William County data. But what's Chris Colgan do? He's located in Prince William County. It's predominantly where he works. He's all about community videos. Look what's happening in Northern Virginia. Look what's happening in Tysons. Look what's happening in Gainesville. Look what's happening and he's always doing these videos on these individual things. But his blog is what got picked up as a source. And I think what Scott was saying is you got to put stuff out there in text. Well, then pull stuff from NVAR, say clarify this on ChatGPT and put it in my voice so that I can put it on my blog. And it'll write it up and you post it on your blog. And now you have an opportunity. And I would say do that geared toward the zip code because this is where ChatGPT, when you say Virginia, Northern Virginia, or whatever, it's sourcing all the big sites. When you get down to Gainesville, Springfield, Arlington, it gets down to, well, who's doing that? Well, you may want to look at becoming the agent that has a regular blog on that location so that you're getting sourced on that through chat. That's how that SEO merges with the AEO. And then the GEO is happening because of your regular property. It's some more work. I get it. But that's how we're going to be able to bring that chat down to my corner of the world. Open to questions and comments.
Now, Anthony, that was the point I was trying to make on that one. It pulled from their blog, which if you don't have a blog, that's a problem. With
you
in this particular endeavor, it's either a blog or, from what I've been researching, or a YouTube channel with the text in the below the video.
Right.
And those are the two things that ChatGPT or the like are most likely to pull versus Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or any other social media things. That's
Right.
not what ChatGPT is going to pull from.
Right. Because that search engine, it's not SEO anymore. It really isn't. The battle to get up on the top of that, and how many pages really? You want to be on the first or second page? Oh my gosh. How are you going to do that? But have the right answer and consistently putting up the right answer. And it's just this is what I'm doing now as a realtor. I'm giving a community report on my blog on a consistent basis. So when someone asks, how's the market in Orange Hunt Estates? It shows up. Because that's where the consumer will start doing their asking. Right now, if you say, how's the market in Orange Hunt Estates? I don't know. I've got it up here. Let me see what that looks like. Let me refresh here. I don't know what's happening with it. There we go. Rocket Mortgage, next door. That's interesting. Rocket Mortgage, which Rocket Mortgage is pulling from Redfin. Neighborhoods. Redfin. So it's pulling up these places. Market snapshot, current market snap response to. Here's a 2026 or a well-established sought-after neighborhood based by, and this is on Rocket again. Oh, there you go. List with Elizabeth. Yeah, she's a big seller in Springfield. Look at that. It's her blog. Now, this is a generic. See, this is from 2024. Imagine if you were doing something in a location and you just kept refreshing the page. Days on market. But the consumer is not going to care about that 1-year-old thing. They're going to know what's going on right now. That's why I'm saying take the data. Go to NAR RPR. Look up that community, that zip code. And you just continually make once a month, or maybe you do a weekly on that community. How are townhouses? How are condos? How are single families? How's the overall market? How are townhouses? How are condos? And then when people say, hey, how's the market in, name that community or that zip code, and bang, you're going to be, because that's where that's headed now. That's my main thing I was going to talk about.
The other thing is that every one of us has an opportunity to steal a march on every other agent, because agents, just like humans, are behind the curve, and realtors are not doing this. They're focused on SEO and social media. And if you're out there posting and doing it in the Q&A format to answer what somebody's going to plug into ChatGPT or Gemini, your chances of being picked up are much higher.
So I have a question about that. Like somebody who's just starting out, like how do you kind of start small so you don't get like overwhelmed, or you end up like doing all of that instead of your lead gen or whatever.
Yeah. I would say that until you get something set up somewhere else, we have a blog option on your website through KW. All right. Share screen 2. Here's mine. I have had to put this into my front page. And I have not added any. This is one thing. I added this, my coat drive flyer, but I've not used it as a blog. Well, now I think I'm going to start putting in market reports and putting them in here, because this is where I want them to go like, oh, okay, wow, let me see what that is. So then when they get to the bottom or wherever, they're on my site and they go, oh, it's Anthony Carr, and maybe this says, something about I am seeing, okay, when I write a blog, I need to have a contact something on the bottom of the blog because it's not showing up on this page. It's here, but that goes to the front page again. And I know that the let me talk to Anthony is under about me. Okay. So what do I want on this blog? I want that if I write something about the market, that on the bottom of that blog, I've got my phone number and email right there. So what I'm going to start doing, and I'll help lead the way on this, is pick a couple of markets that I sell in, and just do a report on them. But I think the way that you're constantly doing this week after week is dividing that market up. So whether you got if you're probably what I'll do is Springfield townhomes, Springfield single families, Springfield, because I work Springfield and I do Woodbridge. So maybe I'll do some Woodbridge too. But the idea is like, what do people search? That's what Scott was saying. It's like, well, what's the answer? What's the AEO I can answer? How's the market in? And they're going to say it. McLean, Arlington, Springfield, and eventually they'll get to the nitty gritty. But I would submit probably it's better to do a larger area than just doing a community, unless your community is really, really big.
Yeah, and I just want to say that, this is awesome information, and I'm going to implement, what you said, Anthony, as far as, the segmentation of it and everything. But I don't think it replaces lead generation.
No.
Always work on that for, at least like 2 hours a day. And then for the rest of the day, spend an hour on this, or maybe batch it out so that you have Friday to work on this or something.
Mm-hmm. Because the information is there to easily pop it over here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and with chat and with and even so, if you go to NAR RPR, it's I think now this is taking on a new revelation, right, of what you can do with that. You go to NAR RPR and you go under market, and you do research, and you do residential market. Where was it? Residential market activity. I think it's market trends. Yeah. And you put, let's say you put Great Falls, Virginia. It creates this.
Yeah.
But then look at this. Create a script for me. Boom. Professional, conversational. What's my audience? My audience is sellers. What do I want it on? I just want it on a blog. Market trends article. Executive summary. Q&A interview type. Generate the content. It's all there. It is now going to write it for me. So like Chris said, don't get wrapped around the axle on it. Let this thing do it for you and then go post it. And now there you go. Our price is rising.
That should just cut and paste.
Yeah. Well, then you can even just save it, or you can just copy the text.
No.
And then with this one, not only do you copy the text, it will put that chart on your site. because I can now use this. So a few clicks and I'm back and forth. Yeah, Megan, what you got?
Hey, I was going to tell you guys that we now have a free subscription as NVAR members to Keeping Current Matters.
Yeah.
And they have that section where you were talking about scripts, that they give you the full script, and it actually the version that they gave us has a teleprompter type scripting where you can upload what you want to say from all of the data that they give you and literally just like record a video.
Yeah.
With the teleprompter.
I'm playing with it. I haven't gotten there yet. I'm going to put the link
Yeah.
to, you have to go in and claim your membership on this. What you see on my screen is the link I just put in the chat. Okay. So open the chat, click it, and put that in a window, but you got to go in here and claim your account, which I did. And then you download the app on your phone, and that's where you make the recordings. Okay. All right. Everyone have a great weekend. Stay warm. It's going to get colder, I understand, but not a whole lot of melting going on out there.
Hey, Anthony, can I stay on with you for a minute?
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, Anthony, I have a question too. I don't know if it could be open to the whole forum if you want.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so following up on my text to you yesterday about the rental, I just don't get in, any fair housing trouble or anything. My listing's 3 days old and we already have an application. She checks off all the boxes, except she may not, she can't stay for 2 years. She could, but she already said that, her boyfriend and her might buy a house and, so that's a red flag. And my clients really want someone long-term.
Yeah.
So, we're getting showings who are, qualified people, and also they can stay longer, right? Like at least 2 years. How do I, not get into trouble if I already have an application? Like, is there a time limit of how soon I can,
they're going to want some sort of response soon, and just say, look, we like what we're looking at, but we really want 2 years nailed down to happen. And we're concerned that you're going to say, we're concerned so we want to pass on this one right now and to get through the weekend.
Okay. So
I think that's fair, because you're telling me, and if we can pick up a 3 year, we'll get it. So what you're talking about is you're talking about the terms being an issue.
Yeah.
They told you we may not, we might go by, maybe not. You need someone's like, we're here for 2 years, we'll take it. Bang, done.
Right. Okay.
Just say my owner is not having the confidence that you're going to stay there for 2 years. We're going to give it through the weekend, but if you need to go look, go ahead and go look. But if nothing's happened, we'll call you back on Monday. So now I've rejected.
I'll help them buy.
I've rejected you because of term. Huh?
Said I'll help them buy with $5,500 a month to spend. Pick me.
Unfortunately, that's why I'm like, I don't want to get in trouble with fair housing,
or lose a lead to this crowd. Golly.
Oh yeah.
So Anthony,
they don't if they're at 5,500, they don't want to spend 60 grand a year for 3 years. They want, we might want to buy something, and it's real. So I would say, let us get through the weekend. If you find something else, we understand, but we may come back to you, because they really want a 2 year lease.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Anthony, your class is gonna be, I'm sorry, so just very quick. Your class is gonna be 1 p.m. is gonna be Falls Church or Kingstown?
No, it's in Kingstown.
Perfect. See you there. Bye-bye.
Right.
Actually, Anthony, I don't know, maybe it makes sense for me to pose this to the group.
Okay, go ahead.
So I have some buyers under contract, and they knew going in, it's like a fixer upper, but it's affordable for them. And we ended up getting like $3,000 under list, but then also which they had already dropped like 20K, because it had been on for a long time. But also we asked for 4% back from the seller. They agreed to 3 and then paying 2.5 towards me. We did the home inspection yesterday. Again, we were all kind of expecting, oh, this needs to be done, that needs to be done, etc. We knew the HVAC was old, blah, blah, blah. However, now having done the home inspection, like we also knew it doesn't have a washer dryer. So immediately they have to buy a washer dryer to make it livable. The dishwasher is leaking massively, so that now needs to be replaced. And the HVAC system is 40 years old. The one in the basement, the inside unit.
Is it zoned?
God bless them.
Or just one?
Just one. It's a townhouse in Manassas.
And what's the price range?
Wow.
So it was on originally for 420. I would say some of the more updated ones in that neighborhood are selling for 420. But they dropped down to 399, and then, like I said, we got it for 397.
So maybe on the negotiation, can you go back and ask? Yes, you can, but you got to make it rich enough for the seller to be willing to say yes, because you're already getting 3%. So you're getting
Well,
12
and
there.
it's, the home inspection was supposed to be to void only, right?
Yeah, I
Which
know,
I
yeah.
know, like, there's always room for negotiation to
Right.
save the deal.
Well, and right now you're the front of the line with all this snow on the ground, knowing that this market's heating up. You do have a little bit less audience because of the condition of the property, but maybe what you say is like, look, we'll move it back up to 405, but we want a new air conditioner. We want a new HVAC system because it's going to be more than probably $12,000 for a new HVAC system.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong, but
Mhm.
but so you give them the money back to give it back to your buyer, but have it installed before you get there because they can install that in a day.
Right.
And that way they know they're at least walking in because do they need the 3% because they need the cash?
They need the closing costs help. Yeah.
I would rather get actual money back rather than, I would get that rather than dropping the price. So just ask them, look, I know this is void only. They really want to have the HVAC addressed and they want a new one installed. If we move up to 405 or whatever price that needs to be,
Mhm.
would they do an HVAC? And then the seller has the money to pay for the HVAC. It's done beforehand. Because by getting the 3%, it still means the buyer's got to hire it and get it done and all that stuff. Whereas if they give them the $12,000 back, the seller now has cash in their pocket to get it done. And it's the same amount of money out of their pocket by getting that completed. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
I mean, sort of, but it's like, I'm pretty sure we've always been recommended to, like, do you want to get the money so that you can do the work yourself?
Sure, but they came down, they're 3% under, and now your guy's freaking about the HVAC.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to either get 3% or an HVAC, one or the other. You're probably not going to get both.
Okay, so
HVAC
I go back.
of buyer's choice. You can always say HVAC of buyer's choice up to some amount of dollars.
Right.
Well, at some point you're going to run into how much, money can you get above the 3%?
Mhm.
How much will the lender?
And that's why I'm saying give it back to the seller to pay for it. Then you're not worried about a 3% loan problem.
Mm-hmm.
How many days on the market?
Oh, like 90 or 100.
I would say
I just closed a deal in Annandale, and I got we maximized the help from the seller 6%. And then with the home inspection, we realized that the HVAC was older than we expected because sometimes it's old, but you can leave. But it was really old.
Mhm.
So, instead to just lose the deal, we proposed that we want to replace. And at the end, it was maximized. So they hold like $18,000, the title company. And now the HVAC has been replaced. The title company paid directly to the contractor, and everything is good to go. With 90 days, I would just go and ask whatever I want.
Yeah, maybe I've got limiting belief. I mean, that's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, this seller is in a pretty bad spot. If you think long days on market, an HVAC that anybody, if they don't know it when they come in and look, for the viewing and make an offer, that's going to be an issue on home inspection. Here's the other thing, that if they don't work out a deal with your client who's stepped up and said, I'm willing to undertake this, they got to be thinking about, well, when's the next offer going to come, and how are we going to stack up against all these newer listed houses that are coming online?
Yeah, more
latter
updated.
half of January and February. I would not want to be in that position as a seller or listing agent. So I might even say, hey, here's the issue, and say, here's my client's concerns, and see what they're willing to do, rather than you offering anything first. See what, hey, do you have, what's your client willing to do, and see try to fix them in place about what they're willing to do, because they may say, hey, my client, what do we need to do to make your buyer client happy? And then you can go from there.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to say that, because we had to go back and forth on negotiations. They had one offer. I don't know how far into their days on market, but they had one offer, and they parted ways over 10K. So like she's
starting to find out she's not over the, y'all aren't over the barrel. She's over the barrel. Now, the only other thing I would submit on that is, when you are looking at, you've got a timeline. When's your inspection notice done? Your inspection period?
Tonight.
So you got to get on the phone
Yeah.
and get it worked out before 9 o'clock when you respond.
Right.
To say, look, they want
write
it,
down
and they're
ask
willing
for
to
the
take on all the
return.
other stuff. And we know that's at least the 12,000 that we're getting to the table. But it's got an HVAC. She can't spend all the money on the HVAC and then have to spend another 10, 15,000 on all the other stuff. So how can we work this out? And that's why I'm saying, if it's a push or shove, say, what if we were to go up to 3%? We keep the 3%, but then you also replace the air conditioner.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
You're giving them more cash to do the work on the house, but you're still getting 3% back.
If you can't get an agreement by 9 p.m. when your notice is due, you can always just do an addendum to extend that period by 2 days to give yourself some time to paper.
All right, guys, I have to go now.
Okay.
Talk to y'all later.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.
Okay.
Good luck, Emma.
Thanks.